for you. Okay, let's start with the review of reading. This is the first review. It's about tall tales. That topic is coming in the exam. So what is a tall tale, class? Who knows what is a tall tale?
A tall tale is an exaggeration of a thing.
That's right. Thank you, Gabriela.
Exaggeration.
Thank you, Rebecca. Yes, it's an exaggeration. So that is a tall tale. Remember, a tall tale, it's something that it's not true. You're not going to believe this. So it's something that it's more, for example, it's something that it's not true, that it's going to be something that that it's not going to happen in real life, just in the imagination of the author or the person that writes this story, right? Like this, look at this board. It's taller than the houses. It's not going to happen in real life. Just if there are toys, if there are some houses just as a toy, yes, when you are a baby and you're playing with different toys, yes, but that it's not going to be possible. The house should be bigger than us. In the house that we're going to live, even the church, the trees. So remember that a tall tale is something that is fiction. It's fictional story that stretches the truth. So in this types of stories, the characters are larger than life. They can live like 10,000 years. They can live hundreds of years. They can be taller. They can
use the same shirt for thousands of years.
That's right. They can use the same shirt. They can use the same clothes. They are going to eat the same thing every single day. And all this is
like in the cartoons.
Can eat one thing in all your days?
Ignacio.
Yes. So that it's impossible, right? You're not going to be eating every single day just apples. You're not going to be eating just oranges every single day all your life. No, we have to eat different things. So yeah, so this is a tall tale, remember? So they are not based on actual person who really lived. Okay. Here we have also some more information about the tall tales. That it says they are exaggerations, as you mentioned. There are some exaggerated characteristics. They are bigger or stronger. They are stronger than real people and solve problems in a way that is hard to believe. This is so important, class. Look at here, it says important. So it means that you need to study so hard this. You already copied this. Today you don't have to copy. You can use this presentation to study also. Because I display this sign that it says important because it's important for you to study.
Miss, what is that? You sent a video also?
Yes, I'm going to send the video in this presentation. They are already in the school, so you can study from there. Check that you already have this information and you can write in your notebook. It's important, so it means that you need to study for any reason. Miss Shannon say it's important, right? For any reason. Now, what is a tall tale, Rebecca? Help me to read what is a tall tale and the characteristics.
A story that is very difficult to believe. A greatly exaggerated story. Characteristic of a tall tale. 1 is humor. 2, impossible situations. 3, character with superhuman abilities. 4, exaggeration.
That's right. So remember this, that tall tale, if I tell you in the exam, a tall tale is a story that is very difficult to believe, true or false?
True.
It's true, that's right, because you already know. And characteristic of a tall tale, humor, impossible situations, characters with superhuman abilities. There are some exaggerations. Remember these 4 characteristics of a tall tale, class. You need to remember this. Humor, impossible situations, characters with superhuman abilities, and their exaggerations. Like the story.
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan, that's right. You remember that we talked about some of these, right? These 4 tall tales, we read it and we make some comments about this. Peckersville, Paul Bunyan, we talk about Johnny Appleseed.
I read Johnny.
Yes. What things they were exaggerating in this story? The things that you remember. Class. For example, let's start with Pecosville. What was the exaggeration that you find in Pecosville? People that read this story. Something that you remember.
He can rate with the genus, I think that you were called.
Okay, that's right. Thank you. About Paul Bunyan, class?
One. You were a tool. One. How can I say? I think Toro in English.
How do you say total in English, class?
Bull.
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 One
And
bull
in
and
plural, bull.
one bull and color blue. Blue because about the winter.
Oh, that's right. It was Babe Blue for Paul Bunyan, right? That it was blue.
Paul Bunyan, you're blue.
That's right. You're right. It was Babe Blue. It was because of the winter, the snow. It was snowing, right? Something like that.
Se quedó enterrado in the
Ah.
snow,
Mhm.
and the color came to blue.
Change to blue. That's right. So you have some exaggeration. They cannot be on blue. They're not in that color. They're black. What about Johnny Cole? What do you remember about of this exaggeration?
Too tall.
Big boy.
Tall,
And
and he was too tall and helped his father
and
with a house,
Mhm.
and he was
I
too,
saw it.
too
The
big,
house.
and the doctors don't have any idea how he was too big.
That's right. He was a big boy. Remember that this boy was eating a lot of food. Do you remember that I mentioned
Baby
that?
are 2 feet or 6.
That's right.
That
Excellent.
was like a dinosaur of tall,
That-
more tall.
yes, that's right. So
And
that is,
during
it's impossible. You're not going to meet a boy
during
that.
the years, he was bigger and bigger and bigger and
Mhm.
bigger.
That's right. Excellent. So that with that is one of the characteristics of tall tales. What about Johnny Appleseed? What was the tall tale that you, the exaggeration or characteristic of the Johnny Appleseed that it makes a tall tale, this story?
Only eat apples.
Just apples, and that's impossible. Yes. What else? He lives where? Where does he live?
In the
The tree. Mhm,
Like,
the branches of the tree.
Like the animals.
Mhm.
If it's just apple, we can say apple pie, apple horneado.
Okay, yes. In different ways, he cooked the apple. He was apple baking the apples. We don't know, right? Frying the apples. We don't know. But he was living on the branches of the trees that it makes impossible. You cannot live in the branches of the tree, right? And he was a tall boy. Yes, he was a tall boy. For that reason, it was considered like a tall tale, impossible situation. And all of them, they have to rescue the humanity of the other people from a danger, some from a tornado, from a cyclone. Do you remember some of them use like a lasso rope?
Yes.
The people to save or to put away the cyclone or the tornado. So this, it makes impossible. You're not going to use a rope or a lasso to do that. It's impossible. Excellent. Now, that's why they're considered like a tall tales. And also we have other examples here that it says, I was born about 10,000 years ago. We didn't read this story, but we know that it's a tall tale because
Yes, but
Like
I
the baby.
a little brown with
Mhm.
a lot of years.
Yeah, you're gonna be a boy. You're not going to be a kid 10,000 years ago. He looks like a kid. It's a child. You're not going to be 10,000 years and you're going to look like a child. No, right? So it's impossible. Apple pie is also considered as a tall tale. Why is considered a tall tale? This is a story.
I never read this story.
I'm a stronger man.
It's an astronomer that he's so strong just by eating spinaca spinach, just by eating that. Mhm.
This but one part is a total and another part is a real. Porque is real when the espinacas nos hace fuertes.
Mhm.
Yes,
It's a
but
healthy food.
Yes, but in medicaments, no.
Yes, it's a healthy food.
No.
Spinach, it's healthy, but you are not going to be just eating spinach to get so strong and have those muscles like this boy. He was describing like he was just strong just by eating spinach. That's impossible. You need to eat something besides that.
Real y en
Mhm.
una parte no.
Yes. So this is an example of papaya is a good example of tall tales.
More about 10 years ago. ¿Qué significa eso en español?
I was born about 10,000 years ago. This you're saying that
I don't know.
yo
but
nací
Popeye-
hace 10,000 años. That's not true, right? You cannot be living 10,000 years in here.
Solo
Just in the
los
stories, if you see vampire stories or movies, you're going to see that, but it's not true. You're not going to be 10,000
niños.
lives. Siguiente.
Como que
Popeye, I remember Popeye,
Mhm.
the name of a restaurant.
What is the name of the restaurant?
Popeye.
Popeyes.
Popeyes chicken fries.
That is I don't remember the name of the restaurant.
No,
but you
I'm
remember
hungry
it.
now. Don't say that I'm hungry.
Yes, we're going to have lunch.
Popeyes.
Don't worry. We're almost happy. Now, remember also that in a
Ese
telltale,
Popeye debajo del
there's some plain way of the speaking that it says, well, that's what I'm going to tell you about him. And there are some exaggerations, like in John Henry. Remember, it's a good example of telltale John Henry. That it says that this, when he was a baby and he was born, he started growing. That's not possible. It takes years, months
And
for
a
you
lot
to
of-
grow.
And a lot of animals see in your house.
In his house, that's right. A lot of animals went to see John Henry's baby. That's right. Also, it's a telltale because it's exaggeration to say that John Henry, this boy, chops down and eat crop trees in one afternoon. They are so big, these trees, that they cannot be just in one afternoon, in 1 hour, 2 hours. It takes more than 1 year, or more 1 day, sorry, or more than one afternoon, so that it's impossible. It's an exaggeration. And also it says that he pulverizes a boulder with his hammer. Remember, a boulder, it's a big rock. A rock cannot be pulverized, so you cannot break the boulder just with a hammer. Remember that he was having a contest, John Henry, with the hammers. He was working with the hammers, and there was a machine, and he was the winner. He beats the machine. That is an exaggeration.
And sing one music.
Yeah, so that's why there are some examples of that exaggeration that you can find in this story. Yes. Now we are going to identify 4 characteristics of a tall tale. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to read this. We have 6, but you need to choose 4 class. 4, no more, no less, just 4. Who can tell me 4 characteristics of a tall tale that you find?
Exaggerations.
Exaggeration is one. Okay, what else?
Impossible situation.
Impossible situation. We have
Humor.
2. Humor, we have 3.
Character with superhuman abilities.
And characters with superhuman ability. Let's check the answer. Yes, character with superhuman abilities. Exaggeration, excellent. Humor and impossible situations. Why they are considered characteristics of tall tale? Because they are not going to happen in real life. Normal people doing normal things. This is not an example of tall tales. Characters with no skills and little strength. That's not true for tall tales. So these are characteristics of a tall tale. This is important. And also we have to choose 3 examples of a tall tale exaggeration. Examples, class 3. For example, it says number 1, a girl raised by a lion as her father. A boy
Yes,
writing
it's
and reading a book.
exaggeration.
Is it an exaggeration, number 1?
Yes.
Yes. A boy or a girl cannot be, you're not going to have a lion as your father, right? You have a human, not an animal. You might that you have a lion.
A giant lumberjack fighting with other giants.
That's right. A giant lumberjack fighting with other giants. You're not going to see giants in the
When John
fighting in the
Cow was a
streets.
baby, he
Kaiju
drank
fight.
10 gallons of milk and ate 1 million hamburgers in her breakfast.
That's right. Imagine eating 1 million hamburgers in the breakfast and drinking 10 gallons of milk. That's impossible, right? So that is
That's
an
yummy.
exaggeration. It's an exaggeration, so it's an example.
That
of-
hamburger.
Just that.
Yes, just this free because a normal boy doing normal things That is not an example of I told you.
And
We have
that's
that.
what involve writing.
Drinking water.
Read.
Or
Like
saying at the
drinking
night-
water,
yeah,
it's normal thing, Joshua. That's why I bore reading and writing a book. No, it's normal. You can do it. Everybody can do it. So it's normal. So it's not an example of I told you. What is the exaggeration? What is the superhuman ability in this? No, anything. Because if you're writing and you are reading something, it's normal.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is not a good example. Again, perfect. You did a great job. So something like that you might find in the exam. I don't know. You should have studied class. So if you don't have any question, we're going to stop here. Good luck. Are you ready for exams? No. Yes. Why not?
No.
Really? No.
Learn more. I need to
You have to
start
study.
more.
Yes, you have 1 week to
Yes,
study.
yes, 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 yes.
Yes. Okay, let's finish here, class. Questions about this? No? Okay,
No.
bye-bye. Go
Bye.
enjoy your
Bye.
lunch.
Bye-bye. Bye.